Welcome back to the Wizard Shop, and this is the CarTrek Firebird. Let's take a look at it. So yes, this is the Firebird that was used in the most recent CarTrek, and it is a 2000 Pontiac Firebird WS6 Trans Am. And even on top of that, it's heavily modified. And that's the very reason I don't like this car. But we're going to check it out for you guys that are into hot rod cars. Definitely let you get a glimpse of it. It is so loud. Junior Mint just brought it into the shop a minute ago, and it actually scared my other techs when he started up. They're quietly working, they're looking at stuff under the hood, and wham! It just scared the hell out of them. This thing is so loud. We'll take a look around it, under the hood, and onto our bin pack lift. Let's check this thing out. Here's our iconic Firebird with the snarl nose on the front. It does say 545 horsepower. I imagine it has that much power. I don't know, I can't verify that, but it sure sounds like it. This has HP design wheels on it, and they are staggered. You can see there's a little bit difference in size between the front and rear. It's in pretty good shape. It's not beat up. I'm surprised after filming CarTrek, which this one's coming out soon, guys. You don't want to miss out on this. This is kind of a preview of one of the vehicles that's going to be in the next CarTrek. You can see here it has the WS6 performance package. And although it's dusty, it's been sitting outside, it's actually in very good shape. It's not beat up. I'm surprised, like I said. They usually are pretty hard on them in filming. There it is, guys, CarTrek. You're not going to want to miss out on it. When they release the next series, you definitely want to watch. It's going to be that good. Here's our WS6 badge on the sides, as well as in the rear you just saw. Let's go ahead and get the hood opened. There it is, guys. WS6 LS motor. All kinds of crazy mods and things on it. What they've done to it as far as tunes and injectors, and I don't know. I don't know the full details of everything, but I do know that it has a tune on it. And here's the aftermarket throttle body. But it does have a tune on it. Tyler tells me that's either so heavily modified or something's not set up right to where it won't actually idle. You have to hold your foot to the floor. So whatever they've done in the tune, I'm not sure. I don't do tuning here. But that will be something that will have to be solved outside of this shop. This here appears to be aftermarket to me. It's like a plastic intake. I don't think that that came on a WS6. I could be wrong, but I don't think that's stock. This hose is starting to sweat coolant. That's pretty gunky there. It's not leaking, it's not causing any issues, but in the future that's going to need to be replaced. So this has some sort of race exhaust on it. And you'll hear it here in a minute, but there's a place where an EGR pipe can connect to, and obviously it's not hooked up. So that's why it's capped off. Same thing over here, you can see one right there. EGR could be hooked up through those little flanges, but it is not. I imagine in the tune that's probably turned off or shut off for racing. This type of a car I normally would not work on, looking at the engine and the modifications and things, because so many hands have been on this, so many other things have been done. There's no way I can offer a warranty on my work because I'm basing my work on 2, 3, or 5 other people's modifications that can interact with the work that I've done. And I'm not interested in doing that. So heavily modified vehicles like this, especially for race, we do not work on them here.
Is this stock duct tape strips installed here?
Yes, that's part of the WS6 package. It covers over the windshield washer fluid. See, and there's the dipstick.
Of course.
It's race tape. You push that on, you seal it back up with tape.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and let Mrs. Wizard give you guys the tour of the interior.
Okay, ladies and gents, and as always, let's start here at the gauge cluster, and you are seeing that correct. This has 109,000 miles on it.
Not sure how many of those were on a racetrack or on the highway and what speed they were going, but it's got 109,000 miles on it. You can see it does have the WS6 logo also on the tachometer there, just to give it a little bit more custom look as well. So as you see, we do have a little microphone right here, and that's going to connect over to the new Kenwood stereo, which does have Bluetooth connectivity to it. As we move up to the dash, it's got a couple of issues. It's looking pretty good, but we got a little bit of a crack here, and then we got one way over there. But, you know, this is a hard plastic dash, and things can happen. Lots of dark charcoal gray, and we can see lots of nice gray, and more gray. Looks like Hoovy left a little bit in the back seat, including, well, a partially eaten, sticky little, I'm gonna guess, toy from his daughter. So we'll put that back, and he can find that later. Otherwise, T-tops are looking good. Nothing sagging. It's in good shape, really. The seats do have a nice little bolster to them, just to help as you're going down the road, going who knows how fast in this lovely race car. Obviously, it is a stick shift, and you can see it is got a lovely pool ball style shifter with the 6-speed in it. But as much as we want this to be a great and fabulous race car, it is still an American product. It is still a Pontiac, and it does still have the standard buttons of a Pontiac. So let's see what they did to the underside. Let's get this up on the lift, and let's hear this thing before it gets up on there. Be prepared. Get those earbuds ready to go for some loud sound.
Did that look very fun, Mrs. Wizard?
No, not exactly. That was pretty hellacious.
These are definitely not my kind of car. To me, that is not fun at all. But we'll go ahead and check it over. I don't see any leaks on the radiator. There's our fans. Everything looks pretty much stock there. There's the front of our LS motor. At least the AC is still hooked up. Everything looks pretty dry otherwise. Amazingly, the steering rack's not leaking everywhere. It's got some full-length race headers. You can see that on there. That looks kind of weird. There's a lot of wires just kind of dangling. The oil filter is leaking a little bit, but it's not too bad. Here's something. This sensor's not even hooked up. Now here we have the melted cable here that goes to that oxygen sensor. They must have tied it up during filming or something. I'll definitely let Tyler know about that. That may be the issue with it running really bad at idle. Transmission is a little bit of seepage, but it's not too bad. Got this massive exhaust. It's like 3" or something. It's really big. Tyler did mention when he was doing aerials, like jumps with this thing, there was some banging going on, like metallic actually hitting noises. So when we get back here, we'll take a look. Here's our drive shaft. Big, beefy exhaust. Those are like heat shields. Oh, I see why it's banging whenever they do aerials or jumps with it. The exhaust is literally almost touching the axle right there. So if they do any compression with the suspension at all, bam, right into the exhaust. It's actually touching right here on this track bar. Let's move it and see. Oof, yeah, that definitely needs some help. Ooh, there's some holes blown out there. Differential's got a little bit of seepage there, not too bad. For going through filming though, it's not really a whole lot wrong with it. Just got a melted connector, we got to fix the exhaust, and a few other things, but it's just so loud. Here's our mufflers, just tiny little glass packs. That's pretty much it for muffling. This tiny little glass pack here. Let's go ahead and get this thing on the ground. So do I hate Pontiac Firebirds? No, I don't. I actually really like them. I like this style of Camaro SS. I like the Firebirds. I just like them stock. I like them left alone. Now, is there anything inherently wrong with doing a car like this, making it basically a race car? No, there's not. It's just my personal choices. I really don't care for that type of thing. But for what it's meant to be, it does it very well. And if you watch the upcoming CarTrek series, you'll see this thing is very, very fast. And that's really what it was meant for, to go fast, really fast. It's not meant for comfort. It's not meant for ease of driving or drivability at low speeds. It's just meant to go high digit, triple digit speedometer speeds. And the fact that it has some issues idling, really does that matter when this type of car lives its life at full throttle? People are doing burnouts with them, they're doing quarter-mile runs, they're doing, really that's not that big of a deal. Do need to get the exhaust looked at and get that repaired, and also the connector. I'll get in touch with Hoovie and see what he'd like to do. If this car was stock, I'd be wanting to buy it. I love the WS6, I love the Trans Am, but after everything has been so heavily modified, I personally wouldn't be interested in it. This is kind of the Car Wizard's take on a CarTrek car. I'm not bashing the car, I'm not bashing the series, obviously. I just personally wouldn't want one that's set up for race like this. So if you're curious what kind of tools we're going to use to work on this Trans Am, check my Amazon affiliates link in the description below, and make sure to keep an eye out for the next series of CarTrek. You really don't want to miss it. It's going to be really good. Follow us on Instagram, and actually we'll let you guys know when that time comes. And make sure to hit the subscribe button, because you've probably seen some cars in the background with some really sweet videos coming up. You don't want to miss out. Thanks for watching.